Just waiting for him to get in here. What's up, y'all? All right. I sent him my invite. We're just waiting. Long and boring. That's how my day was, Eric. Don't see him in here yet. Make sure I send him my invite. Yep. This is waiting on Supreme. Where is he? There he is. Everything's sounds good and everything right now? There he is, the man of the hour. Supreme.
Hola.
So,
What brings you back?
So it sounds good.
Yeah.
Everything, no echo. Anybody?
Don't get off on cue.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, Supreme. You got anything you want to plug or anything like that?
Nothing right now. On December 6th, there's a CCW show coming up. Matt Tremont's going to be on it versus Kikyo. Should be a groovy match.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Anybody got any questions? Because I know I got some. All right. All right. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to start off with whenever you and the rest, a group of XPW guys went to the ECW event, Heatwave 2000, I think it was. How did that come about?
Yeah, I think so.
I knew that they were in y'all's neighborhood. Whose idea was it to actually go and do that?
Well, Rob Black purchased us all tickets to go, and our plan was just to go and sit front row, and we're wearing our XPW shirts. But when we got to the venue, security asked us, and the police asked us to turn our shirts around. So that's, if you notice, we all have our shirts inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Then we decided, it's like, Rob Black had us come here. People have no idea who we are, unless you followed XPW at the time. So we decided at a time during the match when to turn our shirts around. That's all we were going to do, turn our shirts around and display our shirts during the match.
Right.
And then it just went all to shit.
They got pissed off, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. let's see. I remember you had a match with Ian Rotten in XPW. I want to say it was can't remember the actual show it was on. Um, how did Ian Rotten get into XPW?
I'm not sure. I guess Rob Black just brought him in.
Okay,
He was a deathmatch guy, and he just wanted to bring in some more deathmatch guys, some more crazy guys. Uh, I don't remember the name of the show either. I'm bad with names and stuff like
I
that.
want to say it was Xmas something or it had something to do with Christmas. That's all I can remember about it. I've only seen that one match from the show, so. Um, do you have any beef with Ian?
No, not at all. I mean, the only thing was after that he wanted to use me for one of his tournaments, and he gave me a call and he told me he's going to do he wanted me in one of the tournaments and but he's going to use Messiah. And at the time I was still with XPW, and Rob Black didn't want us, you know, to be on shows with him on them. So I just told him that I wouldn't do the show. And he's like, no, 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 I'll use you. I'll take Messiah. I go, no, don't take Messiah off. I go, I'm the one, you know, saying that I can't do it because of the fact. But then he kept telling me, no, 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 I'll use you, and I'll tell him, you know, we won't use him. And then like, a couple days later, he says that I dogged him, and you know, he booked Messiah, and just said he totally turned around. I just told him, don't use me, it's okay. But he had to make drama about it, and
No,
that's
okay.
basically the last time I talked to him. And that was years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a long, long time ago. Let's see. Brian Cummins wants to know what was Rob Black really like.
With me, he was cool. I liked him. People, I always hear all these bad stories. He didn't pay people. He, you know, this and that, and he tried to screw people over. I used to go to his house watch pay-per-views. I used to hang out. I used to bring my son when he was younger. Me and my wife and my son would go hang out. He'd cook for us. We'd watch pay-per-views, and it's always groovy time with Rob Black. With me, at least.
Right. Let's see. You willing to talk about your thoughts on what happened with Messiah and all that and Rob Black after he left SPW?
I don't have much to say. I mean, I talk to Messiah now and stuff, and we're good friends. Um, for what happened, I don't know too much of the details.
Right. Is that Bruiser Brody back
But
there?
yeah, that was an etching that my cousin did for me.
Okay. Okay. I like that. That is nice. Let's see. Let's see if we got any questions. Nobody has any questions right now?
He don't give a shit about me.
I do. I do. You were my Hulk Hogan whenever I was growing up. So this is a big deal
Cool.
for
Thank
me. So
you. Cool. Thank you.
whatever, oh well, look, Chris. He wants to know when and where was your very first wrestling match?
My very first match was in I don't remember the date, but it was in Colton, California. It was about an hour from Hollywood. Um, it was versus Chaos, my nephew. He
Hmm.
was like 15 at the time. And
He was probably
funny
going by
thing
Kid
is, we go.
Chaos.
I'm
He
sorry.
was probably going by Kid Chaos then.
Yeah, Kid Chaos at the time, and he came out to the song "Lowrider." Yeah, it was good times. That was the first one. We were planning on doing a battle royal, and he went in the back, asked them, "Hey, if we could get on a, you know," I said, "Go ahead, ask them, see if we get on, get a match." And I didn't think they would. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll put you guys in a match." So it was pretty cool.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
yeah. My first match was versus Kid Chaos. It was July 7th, 1996 or 97.
That was a long time ago. Shit. Let's see.
Yeah.
MDKC wants to know why did Sage Sin retire in so early in her career?
Oh, she's not retired. She's having a baby.
Right.
Yeah, she knew she was planning. She was planning it So
So she just took some time
so
off
she
to.
took time off. Yeah, she took time off, planned it. You know, she's pregnant now. Her belly's big and hard. Um, but she does plan on coming back later on. I'm not sure to what extent, but you know, that's what she says. She's coming back, but having a baby, you never know.
Okay.
But but you'll see her.
Okay. Good. Good. How did you feel whenever she decided to go and follow in your footsteps and doing death matches?
Uh, I was nervous at first because I actually told her when she was training and stuff. And then she told me she was interested in doing deathmatch. I was like, "You sure?" I kind of tried to sway her, but you know, not too much. I didn't say no, you can't do this or anything like that. But I would try to sway her from doing it, but she wanted to. Then she's pretty badass at
Oh yeah, she good.
it. Definitely.
Let's see, Corey. Favorite match of your career?
Favorite match of my career would be I forgot what show it was. It was the show when I caught on fire. It was against
New Jack.
Chaos,
I want to say New Jack was there
and they
too.
never filmed it.
They never
Sorry.
did.
Yeah, they filmed it, but they never put it out. The only way you could see it is like through highlights.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was a really good match. Other than that, probably the Messiah match at Go Funk Yourself.
Speaking of the Go Funk Yourself, uh, Brian Cummins, he said my first time seeing you was the Go Funk Yourself. Thoughts on Terry Funk?
Yeah, yeah, that was a good show. That was a fun night.
What are your thoughts on Terry Funk?
Oh, Terry Funk, he's a very nice guy. I love him. He's the type of guy like I'll see him like a cauliflower alley, and I'll see him and he like I'll say hi or whatever, not thinking he'll remember me. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Totally remembers me. So that's always pretty cool.
I see.
Yeah, no bad stories ever about Terry Funk. He's the best.
Eric Robert wants to know any stories of really funny ribs. What the fuck does that mean?
Your ribs. I mean, we used to mess with people here and there, but not too much. I remember there was one time. I forget what tag. It was a young tag team, and we were in Philadelphia in a hotel room, and Chaos had me put some suntan, you know, rub it on him, and he's sitting there in his underwear. I'm putting it on him, and then we hear the young guys outside. I forget who they are. It's like they're people. They're known to him. I just can't remember who they were. Um, I told Chaos, I go, as soon as I say so, run out the room and go run. Because it's brown, so it looked like brown on my hands, and I'm running on his back. So he goes running out, screaming of the hotel room. And I go, come back, come back. And it's like my hands are all brown, look like shit. And both their jaws dropped. But the story doesn't work too well if I don't remember who they are, though. It's like, I'm so bad with names.
Let's see. Garrett, he said, I like to hear about your feud with Angel and about how you felt watching some of the bumps he took. He took some
Yeah,
horrible bumps.
he's insane. He just the higher it was, he would take it, and the crazy thing is, like, I would take care of him after some of the times, like when we were in Pittsburgh and stuff. It's like I loved working with him. He was heavy as shit though to pick him up.
Really, he looks small.
Yeah, but getting up, he was like a ton of bricks. It's like he'd like,
Maybe that's why he fell
but
so
yeah,
hard.
and seeing his intense bumps and stuff, it was crazy. I had nothing but respect for Angel.
Yeah, I like Angel. Let's see. MDKC, Axel Rotten Stories.
Axel, he's not too many stories. He came in when we were in Hollywood at the
I want to
Palladium.
say he
One
came
story.
in at the very first King of the Deathmatch tournament y'all did. I want to say,
Yeah, that was at the Palace in Hollywood.
yeah, and then
It
he, I forgot.
the original was supposed to be me and him in the finals, but it changed up to me and Cronus.
Well,
But
what happened with that? What changed?
Well, he came in and he was like, and I don't like to talk bad about him. Like I used to tell him, we used to joke about it too before. It's like came in and it's like he goes, yeah, we got our piercings. We'll take care of each other, take care of the piercing and stuff. If it gets out of hand, I got a knife in my boot. I was like, what the, I was like, what the fuck? So I go to Rob Black. I go, Rob, if I see him go for his boot, I'm gonna fucking take him out. And he's like, whoa, 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 what's going on? Then he calls him over, and then Axel tells me, he's like, hey, what'd you bring it up to him for with the boys? I was like, well, Rob's my friend. He's like, I'm closer to him than most of the boys at the time. It's like, so I'm like talking to him and telling him if something goes on, that's what's going to happen. But we smooth it all over. It was all good, no problem, nothing really. That
Chris,
was just about it.
he wants to know, is Supreme officially done with wrestling? And I say no because you wrestled in the CC3, wasn't it? Crimson Cut 3?
Yeah,
Last,
I wrestled a month ago.
that was last weekend,
Yeah,
weekend before last?
it was maybe three to 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, something like that. You actually went up against Tremont in one of those
Yeah, it was
rounds.
a that match was a three-way between me, Homeless Jimmy, and Tremont. And Tremont came up on top.
Whose idea was it to do the colored light tube lightsaber thing? That was awesome, by the way. That was
Yeah,
fucking cool.
yeah, we've done it before. Our one of our guys that helps us out with a lot of stuff, Bob, crazy ass Bob. He did it himself. He has a guy like helps him, and he just like I've done it before in a match, but added like a cable coming out. And this time he did it where there was no cables. It was awesome. And I'm a super Star Wars mark, so that's why they always try to cater, with my matches and give me those type of things.
That was just that was the first time I saw it, and I thought it was badass. I loved
Yeah, when
it.
they turn the lights off and
Oh
you just see
yeah.
the sabers, it's awesome.
Let's see. Corey wants to know favorite rat story. I'm guessing he's talking about ring rats.
I don't really have any of, of those. I've been married my entire wrestling career, and so I got been married. My son always comes to shows. He manages me now, and Chaos is always who's my nephew. He's been around, through the long, at the beginning of my career. So it's like not saying that I would have done stuff, but I mean just because I always have family around too. So yeah, I don't really have any
So you're saying you
rat
had the
stories.
opportunity, but you passed on it.
Yeah, like with Christy Miss, I'd have opportunities. No, I never pursued anything.
Let's see. Corey wants to know what got you into death matches.
I just always loved it. I used to watch tapes. I used to have a friend from high school. I used to get tapes from him, Casey Boyer. I used to get tapes from him, and he used to just give me grocery bags full of tapes and stuff. And I started watching deathmatch stuff, and that stuff was all crazy. I just really got into it watching it. The Japanese stuff. It was mostly the Japanese stuff because wasn't really too much else. I totally dug it once I start watching it.
Let's see. Thoughts on GCW? I know you wrestled for them once or twice.
Once
Once.
about 2 years ago.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on them compared to then and now?
Well, then it was 2 years ago. I just went. They flew me out. I'd never heard of them before. I just don't follow things. Like if you tell me any other companies, I don't know them. I went, impressed with the show. It was nice, cool venue, and wrestled Tremont. Good match. And it seemed like they were starting then to start doing more stuff. So to me, it's kind of the same thing as what I've seen there. It's like they dreamed big and they went big, and I mean they're like all over the place. They
Oh
come
yeah,
out
they
here, they
went to
go
Japan.
Mexico.
Yeah, with DTU.
It's working.
You were in
Yeah,
Mexico.
it's working.
You
Yeah,
did a little bit.
mostly when I go to Mexico, I go to Monterrey, Mexico for NGX.
Yeah, they actually have a deathmatch tournament coming up pretty soon. Are you going to be in that?
Yeah. No, they haven't asked me.
Okay, they should.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's my favorite. My favorite, other than XPW, that's my favorite place to work is and NGX. I
Oh
love
yeah.
that place. They treated me great
I,
there.
I want to say that XPW and NGX had a pretty good working relationship back in the day.
Well, really, it was they started like after XPW, and really what it was Damien 666 would start bringing us out, and it was really he was the go-to guy to bring people in and stuff. Then the core guys in NGX would start to get know me and other wrestlers. Then to go through it, but Damien was the first one to bring everyone in.
Okay. Frank wants to know there was some talk about XPW coming back led by Shane Douglas. What are your thoughts about it? There was a rumor going around
I've
that Shane Douglas was going to do a reunion show or actually try to bring the company back, but that's all I've heard is a rumor about it. Well, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so that's the first I heard about it. It's like I don't know. All I know is Rob Black. He actually opened up a burger joint over in I think Rochester, New York.
Hmm.
All American Burgers or something like that. And he's got themes of XPW in the background. He's got videos showing and stuff.
You been
I
there
just
yet?
seen pictures. No, I just seen pictures of it and stuff. I think it looks really cool though.
Oh yeah, I like how you put the
But other than
XPW
the
stuff in
XPW
there.
show, I know nothing about it.
Let's see. Uh, Eric Roberts wants to know worst injury.
Probably when I got caught on fire. As I was on fire for like 10 seconds, I got a bad second degree burns. I was out of it for wrestling for about 3 months. It was pretty bad. Other than that, I'd have like, broken bones, I had piercings ripped out, but
Ooh, but the fire would
that's
be
all
the
groovy though.
worst.
No problem.
Let's see. Corey, any chance we'll ever see Supreme versus Slack?
That would be awesome. I'd love that. I'm pretty sure Schlack would like that too. Yeah,
Oh, I would love that.
I'd love to wrestle like all these younger guys before before it's all said and done. And I'm done.
Let's see.
That'd be awesome.
Following up on that, your dream opponent.
Well, it would have been Bruiser Brody there. That would have been totally
That would have
awesome.
been insane.
But yeah, um, I don't know. I mean, dream opponents like a wrestle all the guys I kind of like too. I wrestled Sabu once. I never did wrestle Terry Funk though. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, y'all would have tore it down. Let's see.
Yeah, that would have been
A lot of
groovy.
people don't know this, but you did a little bit of time in FNW.
Yeah, I did a three, one, two or three like month tours there.
Hmm.
Me and Jimmy actually held their hardcore
And
belts.
I want to say it was you, Jimmy, and Pogo the clown went over
Yeah,
there.
me and Jimmy in the first tour. The second tour was me and Pogo.
Yeah. How was your time over there?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, because I watching wrestling. Once I was done with WWE for a while, I start watching Japanese wrestling. I go to Little Tokyo, start renting out Japanese tapes and stuff. So going out there, it's like I totally loved it. It was one of my dreams come true. To be able to go out in the crowd and like say, "Get the fuck out of the way," and everyone goes stop and go, "Oh!" It's like I had to stop and mark out myself on that.
Let's see. Ryan wants to know, do you enjoy being commissioner of Crimson Crown Wrestling?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's because I don't wrestle as much now, and got me the opportunity to wrestle on that last show because BC Killer got injured, so I filled in for him. But yeah, just being in charge and commissioner of the shows and stuff, it's fun. It's a fun show. It's not all just crazy. It's not death matches. We have lucha stuff. We have like high flyers. We have pure wrestling. It's a good show.
It's an all-around show.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Corey wants to know who is the future of deathmatch wrestling right now.
The future.
Yeah, if you had to pick one
Uh,
person to put over, who would it be right now?
I mean, guys that are already out there. I mean, or someone that no one really knows or hasn't
I'm
seen yet.
guessing he wants to know the guys that's already out there. I guess that haven't got that
I would.
push.
I like Schlack a lot. Aiden Blackheart's groovy. Marcus Crane's groovy. It's sad to hear what happened with G Graver. Um, see, locally, what we got here? I'm drawing a blank. Because there's some guys like locally, they'll do the matches, and then like T Rex has been doing them lately. He's pretty good. He's a big guy, doing some crazy stuff out here. Yeah, I'm not really too sure. I'm never good at that. It's like because it's always a bunch. They come in bunches, and then I kind of dig it all. I'm just glad that it's still around, and it's got a pulse. It's
Oh
groovy.
yeah, it's got a huge pulse. It's not going anywhere. Let's
Yeah.
see. Corey wants to know what's your favorite type of weapon to use, and what will you not use?
I pretty much would use anything. I love using the light tubes. Those are always fun. Get good sound, and they hurt people. And
It's a good visual too.
um, yeah, but one of my favorites was always the way we used in XPW the bed of nails. I really like that bed of nails.
Oh yeah. And
It was just kind of
I didn't see
gruesome. I
it in
mean,
America until the first XPW King of the Death matches. Up until then, the only time I saw it was in IWA Japan. You know, with the holy grail of deathmatch wrestling, the tournament, and with Leatherface. All
uh,
let's see, Eric Roberts. Have you ever been stiff by a promoter?
oh yeah, it's like I several times. The worst was when me and BC Killer went to Mexico. It was for this one company. I forgot the name of the company. It was a small company. He brought us out, and he kept saying he was going to give us a hotel room, but he had to stay in his apartment the whole time. And he had a tiny shower where we barely fit in. I could barely fit in. Because it was just the door was you had to squeeze into the shower, and yeah, and he ended up jipping us the one day, the last day, he ended up getting us a hotel, but he never picked us up for the airport and didn't give us our pay, and didn't totally didn't just left us at the hotel. We had to find our way to get to the airport and pay for the taxi, it was horrible. But when I came back, uh, Kevin Kleinrock heard about it because I brought it up, and then he actually put it out there in a magazine in Mexico, so he was shamed out there. So that was groovy.
Who's the who do you think was the person that hit the hardest, that threw the hardest punch that you wrestled?
The hardest punch that I wrestled,
Because a lot of people would say
Pogo.
Necro Butcher can throw a hard punch and a headbutt. And I know that you wrestled him at XPW Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, yeah, he was pretty snug, but probably the snuggest would be probably like either Pogo the Clown, or Messiah at certain times was pretty stiff. It's pretty snug. But that's just the way we worked it. We used to do that in promos too, so we always had a good time with it though. Axel threw a mean chair.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Axel would throw me in the chair. Fuck. Let's see. Corey, he wants to know who's the stiffest you have ever been with in the ring.
Isn't that the same question? Right. That I was stiff
Let's
on.
see. Who's the stiffest you have been in the ring with? Um,
Oh, with earlier on when I was doing the death matches, every death match, I used to tell people when we go out, I'm like, right before we'd go out and my music we did or their music, I was like, don't take it personal. Then we'd go out and just, especially when you get out in the crowd, he says, you gotta let them feel it. You gotta let the fans know that this isn't just, regular shit. It's pretty stiff stuff. I mean, but there are other times like just regular matches, like someone would stiff me and I'd stiff them back, and I'd close several eyes in matches, and It's all good. Never angst after though.
How do you feel about razor wire and pigeon spikes? I know IWA Deep South uses a lot of razor wire in their matches. John Rare and Spider Boudreaux, and Marcus Crane actually used the pigeon spikes. How do you feel about those?
I mean, if they want to use them, it's all good for them. You know, it's I guess deathmatch is evolving. I've never used them, but knowing me, like thinking about it now, it's like, oh, I wouldn't want to use it. But knowing me, if it's in a match and they tell me to take it, I'd take it. So
So you would take
it's all
about pretty
good.
much anything.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people always kind of laugh at me because I tell them I'm afraid of heights, and they're like, "Well, wait a minute, you like fell? You'd go up on balconies, jump off balconies." It's like they asked me to do it, I'd do it. But yeah, I was scared shitless every time I went up.
Let's see, Garrett. Was there ever an instance where you were booked to wrestle an opponent you always wanted to face, but for whatever reason it fell through? Basically, a dream match that never was.
No, not really. I pretty much everything always they promoters always followed through with who they tried to put me with and stuff. That was always all good.
Okay. Let's see. Would you ever do a real explosion match with Onita? A real one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be cool. Let's see. Eric Robert wants to know who's the easiest to work with.
Jesus, well, there's a bunch of guys that are easy out there. I guess it would be Damien. I've learned so much from him, and uh, we don't really even call anything. We just go out and we do it, and we have a good time each time.
Let's see. What what is the craziest thing that you've seen other deathmatch talent do that you was just like, whoa, maybe this might be a little bit too much. Has there any been anything like that?
I know there is. I just can't. I can't come. I can't think of it at the top of my head. Uh, you know, probably some like crazy higher dives, like the things New Jack used to do, or go, you know,
With
even throwing Angel, getting Angel off the scaffolding. Those were always to me were always really crazy. It's like because like I said, my fear of heights, and then I mean, I even remember offering to go off one of them, but yeah, those are pretty crazy, pretty high things like that.
Frank wants to
And
know.
one that I think is really crazy, but I'd love to do is when they have the instead of a trampoline, it's like a web of barbed wire.
Oh, like they did in CZW.
Yeah, I think that I like that a lot.
You
I think that's really cool.
have you ever had the opportunity? Have they ever said, "Hey, Supreme, we want you to come wrestle for CZW"?
No, I never understood why, but yeah, never did.
DJ, get on that shit. He needs to. Let's see. Your thoughts on Jim Cornette?
I mean, I liked him back in when he managed the Midnight Express. Right now, I could give a shit. I mean, he's just a guy that talks, so
Yeah.
not relevant to me. It's he's irrelevant.
Let's see. What's the worst bump?
And I think people give him too much, talk about him too much, and that's why he digs it. He totally digs that. It's like it gets him out there, it gets his name in people's mouths and stuff. I just, if people ignored him, it'd be
He just
nothing.
don't want to let go of what he had. He needs to let go.
Yeah,
It's time to move on.
yeah.
Let's see. Frank wants to know what's the worst bump you took and seen.
Worst bump I took. Worst bump I took was probably it was a match against Vic Grimes, and I was gonna jump off the ladder, and the referee was supposed to hold it, and then he wasn't holding it good. And as soon as I jumped, the ladder gave, and I just went down. And I hit my right here, hit slammed into the side of the ring, and it cracked my ribs.
That was
So anytime rib,
that was the second King of the Death matches for XPW, I believe.
yeah, yeah, it was. The thing is like about that is like, yeah, that cracked my ribs there. And then I go up on a higher ladder and get tossed off that one.
You get pushed over onto I want to say it was light tubes and barbed wire and some tables, I believe.
Yeah, and then if you ever watch closely, as soon as I fall through that table of all that stuff, you see me pointing to my arm
Hmm.
because I had a piece of light tube stuck in it.
I remember that.
So in the back,
It's,
you see me pull it out. But I was like, I don't know who I was pointing it to, but I was just pointing at it.
I remember you stood up and you was just pointing the at your arm, showing it to the crowd. I remember that. Let's see. Corey, he wants to know craziest road story.
Craziest road story. Shoot. Um, Not too many crazy ones. Because I would always just go to the room and just drink. I wouldn't go out too much. One time I worked at New York. We wrestled in Queens. Forgot what the company was, but I was in my hotel room. I was already in my boxers and my tank top, getting ready to call it a night. And the promoter comes like, "Hey, we're going to check out the venue. They're having a rave there." I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go." So I go to a rave in my boxers and a tank top. I didn't get dressed or anything. I just and it was like it was it just finished snowing too.
Let's see. Garrett wants to know thoughts on Wrestling Society X that was briefly on MTV.
That was cool. I didn't watch too much of it. I just knew everybody. I knew Kevin Kleinrock had something to do with it. He told me he was going to get me involved in the second season, but that never happened. So,
Ace Woods wants to let you know that you are a deathmatch god.
oh, well, thank you very much. It's awesome.
Let's see. Eric Robert wants to know who cleans you up after a match.
For early on, it would be my wife because she's a nurse, but she doesn't go as much. I tend to do it myself pretty good. My son helps me a lot because he manages me. He does a good job. But when I'm like touring and or in Mexico or something like that, I do it myself and pretty good. I help people out too in the back when they got some bad injuries and stuff. Like I do what I can.
You ever did the whole super glue thing?
I know, but I super glued Angel's head before. Yeah, the back of his head. I threw him down like off a stage, and he cut his head open. And then he went to I think Target or something, got some super glue, and I super glued it for
Let's see.
him. Because I always have closures, so I don't really need to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you have a wife, a nurse for a wife, so she she,
Yeah,
she looked after you. Let's
yeah, and then I don't mind scars, so I don't really, I just covered up some. Used to put band-aids on them, but it's all good.
see. Garrett wants to know most memorable victory and most memorable loss.
The most biggest victory would probably be probably when I first won the this trophy in the first death match tournament,
In XPW.
and then yeah, XPW one, and probably it's probably I did like three or four pay-per-views in Japan. Those were all pretty cool. Then the biggest loss would be I'm not sure. They never really. The thing weird about when you lose is like when you win, it's like woo, you're on top of the world and it's all good and groovy. But when you lose, you can't really take in that you lost because for some reason there okay you don't have that adrenaline. So when you lose, you're just feeling the pain.
Yeah.
So each time I lose, I just feel that pain and I don't have the adrenaline. It's like woo.
So it's better to win and keep that adrenaline going than to lose and just hurt.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ace Woods wants to know which person was the best to work with.
Person. It would be Chaos. I love working with Chaos. Messiah, Damien. Those three are the best. Vic Grimes was always groovy too.
I
But
remember
yeah,
whenever
Chaos would be.
Dick Grimes and New Jack took that. I want to say it was a 40-foot scaffold match in XPW. That was the
Yeah, that was
craziest shit I've ever
insane.
seen at the time. Let's see. Eric Robert wants to know, where do you see yourself in the next 2 to 3 years?
I'll probably be retired by then. I mean, like I'm almost done now. It's like do a few matches a year and stuff. I mean, when people ask me, I'll do them. It takes longer to recoup because I don't drink anymore, so it takes way longer to recuperate, and I feel everything now. I used to drink nonstop before, so I haven't drank in a year and a half. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot more taxing on my body, and next year I'm going to turn 50, so I think it
Okay.
might be a good time when
Let's see. Garrett wants to know, favorite non-deathmatch contest you competed in.
non. Well, pretty much all my stuff in Japan. That was one thing I was bummed out about Japan is they never put me in a death match.
Yeah. They were
I did a
hardcore
couple of hardcore
matches,
matches.
but not death matches.
Yeah, but my favorite regular match would have been. It's hard to think of because I started my career as just wrestling. It was me and Chaos were a tag team for a while. Those were always good matches. We were known as Supreme Chaos
Mhm.
then. Uh, I really was happy with me and Sage. We did a benefit show out here somewhere. We were a tag team. We did a little bit of hardcore stuff, but it was mostly kind of a wrestling match. I was happy with that, just to be able to wrestle with her on my side. I liked that a lot.
Let's see. Earlier this year, you were inducted into the Deathmatch Hall of Fame with uh, Messiah. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Like whenever you found out, whenever you first found out, what were you feeling, and what were you feeling while you were giving your speech?
I was real emotional during the speech, and when they asked me, I was really honored. I was really, I mean, just the recognition I get now, just even from my peers and stuff, the younger guys coming up to me, like it's way different from when I was in XPW. And then, like I've been noticing it a lot lately. A lot of the guys that come on shows, even when I don't wrestle, they'll acknowledge what I've done for them, and just by watching the stuff I've done. And then for Santino Brothers to give me this honor for the Hall of Fame, just I even said in the speech, in wrestling, that was probably my highest point right there. That was a non-wrestling thing. Here's the here's the ring.
There it is.
I don't know if you can see it pretty good. Hey, can you see good? Am I doing it right? Yeah, and then they gave me a trophy. It's a good thing I'm sitting right behind, in front of it. This was the trophy.
That thing is nice. I like that.
Yeah, right. It's like a blood drop.
Yeah, because I want to say you almost you I want to say you started to tear off there whenever you were giving your speech. I seen it,
Yeah, I did.
and it was a moment for you.
Yeah, especially because Sage, my kid Sage, she gave a good emotional, introduction, and then my son, everyone always thinks he's quiet. Like Sage, they know she wrestles, she does promos and stuff. My son's always quiet, and then for him, the way he spoke, it was like everyone's like whoa, and then to go on after them too, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. Let's see. Ace Woods wants to know, do you have any lingering injuries?
Yeah, oh yeah, my this shoulder is basically has no cartilage. This shoulder is pretty fucked up. My back's always fucked up. I think I have a well, years ago they told me I had a slip disc, but yeah. Um, I always, for some reason, I always walk with a limp. But it's all good. Once I'm out there in the ring, I don't feel any of it. So
You got that adrenaline going.
Yeah, that's why I think people they say they retire and then they come back like Terry Funk did it for so long because yeah, you're in pain, but when you go out there, you don't feel it.
Let's see. Well, anybody got any more questions? I got. Do you have any beef with anybody right now?
No, no, I went to a hospital a couple of years ago. I felt like I had a beef with a lot of people, but when I came out and you know start getting feeling better, and I have no beef with anybody. Yeah, I used to say I was like I won't work with this guy. I wouldn't want this guy or someone on the show, but like now it's like there's no need to have any of that. So everything's all groovy.
Good, good. Let's see. Garrett. He says, "Thank you for your time tonight, and for your contributions to professional wrestling. In your opinion, what was the golden age of American deathmatch wrestling, and do you feel that that pinnacle can reach can be reached again?"
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the golden age of
Of American deathmatch wrestling, and
American Deathmatch?
yeah, and do you feel that the pinnacle can be reached again?
I felt the East Coast always had a good deathmatch thing, and it only came up in West Coast when XPW started it, and when we were doing it, it was going good. I think that was the high point, and we were doing it regularly. Like each show we would have a death match, and then after that they'd have like shows here and there and stuff. But most local, in LA and stuff, they don't like doing it too much. But now with CCW and different companies here and there, it's coming back. And the East Coast, like I said, East Coast always kind of had it, but now it just seems even stronger. I really dig the fact that it's not just them going out there and having garbage matches. That's boom boom getting the death match stuff. They actually have matches, so it's actually wrestling involving all this death match implement stuff. It's great. I love it. It's what I felt we did in XPW, but now it's like everyone's doing it now. I think it's really cool. Like like Schlack, Matt Tremonts, the Cranes, Marcus Cranes, the Aiden Blackhearts, like all these guys, the Murdochs, they're all, they're out there doing it, and the wrestling too. They're having like wrestling matches. That's what's beautiful about it. It's like you get to see a good wrestling match, but with the death match stuff. You have the best of both worlds.
He says, "Don't have people going out there hitting each other with shit." Says
Yeah, and that's it. And then it's
they're
like no
actually
story, no
the
nothing.
story. Yes. Yes. Well, anybody got any more questions? If not, oh, Corey wants to know: do you smoke in your favorite strand?
No, I don't smoke. I used to smoke before maybe like 20 years ago I'd smoke here and there, but I was a paranoid smoker, so I'd smoke and I get real paranoid, so I just stopped doing it.
So you never smoked and had a match, right?
No, never.
Okay. So, well, if I'm guessing that's all the questions. If you got anything that you want to plug or anything like that, uh,
No, other than I always would love to plug the Santino Wrestling Academy, the dojo over out in Southgate, run by Chaos. The instructors Robbie Phoenix and Sylvia Munoz is there, and Eli Everfly, and of course CCW Crimson Crown Wrestling, Sage Sin, uh, Kyle. Love them both. And the show's December 6th. What's it called? I think I have it written down here. For whom the sleigh bell tolls. It should be groovy.
I like that. Okay,
Yeah, Kyle comes up with the craziest shit.
last question right here. What was your favorite feud?
Favorite feud? It would have to be with Damien because that lasted the longest, and it's kind of still going on now, here and there. But it went through Mexico, and I never wrestled in XVW, and then after that's when our feud started. Started with tag teams, and then we just It's been going on for years.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you. Um, you're an icon for me personally, and I want to, on behalf of Murder Death Kill Club, I want to thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you for having me anytime. It's been a good time. Thank you for all the questions, everyone.
All right, I'm pretty sure we'll have you back on again.
Okay, groovy.
Awesome, man.
Take it easy. Thanks.
Later.